Okay, so you can slowly close your eye. Establish the mindfulness in front of you. Okay, so in front of you, wherever you feel your sensation of the breath. Some people can feel it's the top of their nose. I think it's just on your anatomy of your nose. Sometimes some people can feel at the top, the tip of your upper lips. Sometimes you feel maybe in your throat. Some people feel in your stomach or your belly button. So wherever you feel the sensation of the breathing, if you can't, maybe you take a few deep breaths in and out. See where can you feel the sensation of the air going in. Sometimes people can feel it where you smell things in that point. Okay, so once you find your own particular spot, then you keep your mind on that. You can see the air going in, the air going out. So if you observe carefully, you can see that there are difference between in-breath and out-breath. The in-breath is cooler, the out-breath is a bit warmer because some heat of the body. So if you pay good attention, you can sense that. Okay, so first when you're breathing in, you know that you're breathing in. When you're breathing out, you know that you're breathing out. Just relax. All you need to know is just either in or out. And then is to know whether you're breathing in long, breathing out long, or breathing in short, breathing out short. You just compare with your previous breath, is it shorter or longer? Now, when you breathe in, you try to experience the whole body. The body here means the body breath and the whole body breath, beginning, middle, and the end. In, and then beginning, middle, and the end out. So the whole breathing body can experience it. Not letting the mind anywhere, just keep on the breathing all the way. Beginning, middle, end, in. Beginning, middle, end, out. You can notice the pause in between. When you're breathing in, beginning, middle, and end, there's some tiny bit pause in between where it's totally still. And then start to be breathing out, beginning, middle, and out, and end, and then pause. Okay, you can notice the pause in between breathing in and out. And then now try to tranquilizing the bodily formation. Here the Buddha used the word bodily formation, which means breathing. Okay? Because your breath is form your body. Your breath is forming your body every moment. Your body forming by your breathing. So when you try to tranquilizing the bodily formation, you try to tranquilizing your own breathing. So you learn in such a way that how can I tranquilize my mind breathing. Maybe you can experiment with it a little bit. Some people breathing too short, you can make it longer, or too long, make it shorter. You can play with it. It's a whole exercise that you can do. You train your mind how to tranquilizing the bodily formations. Buddha give very beautiful simile here. Skilled worker, when he make a long turn, a short turn, can looking at your breathing like that. Sometimes I use the picture of the potter. There's some kind of spinning to keep the pot rolling, churning. You can use that picture to when you breathe in and out. So for people who don't know what breathwork or potter, maybe you can play yo-yo when you were young, like this toy that you can play going in and going down, going up. So you contemplate the body in the body internally, which means inside yourself, and also externally. Sometimes you can hear people next to you. You can also contemplate that as well. And then internally and externally. And now you focus on its nature of arising, and then its nature of vanishing. And then its nature of both arising and vanishing. So the mindfulness that there is the body is simply established in you, but it's to the extent of bare knowledge and repeated mindfulness. So this to prevent the sense of self attached to that mindfulness. The mindfulness is just a natural process. It doesn't belong to you or anybody. So in that way, you to dwell independent, not clinging anything in the world. So this is how bhikkhus dwell, contemplating the body in the body. Okay, so you can see it's quite systematic the way the instruction that the Buddha. If you can just stay with this simple one, and maybe you can do it for the whole half an hour or an hour with this instruction. But this is almost like when you recite it, it's rearranged the thought process. You think like this. Because normally we don't think like this. We think all over the place. But when we try to keep the mind on just on the breathing, and then use that as a grounding for mindfulness. And you first you know the body, the breathing, and you know that this breathing is conditioned to the body. You can know the connection between the breathing and the body. when you're breathing become refined, your body also refined, and you can see the connection there. Okay, and then you focus on the arising and vanishing of that. So you can see the anicca, you can see the impermanent. It's just the first exercise, and then you can see that it's the same phenomena in yourself and other people. When you breathe, other people also have the breathing the same. So when you understand your own breathing, you understand everybody because they have the same. Okay, and then every time it's always come back to this. This like the last part is come again and again. Remind you that this is just the body to be for the mindfulness to use that as a training ground. Okay, for bare knowledge, repeated mindfulness. So, because sometimes people can attach to that and say, "See, I'm a meditator. I'm good than everybody else." So you're really lost. You become, you create the good practitioner out of just a simple process. So the Buddha will remind you that this is just a simple phenomenon, and then you can repeat to that again and again. That this is just nothing worth clinging in the world. It's just the body. And now, because you use it as your own body, you have to take good care of it. But in the end, you have to return it to nature. But for the time being, you cultivate mindfulness and knowledge out of this body to make good use of this. Okay, so that the first cultivation of the body in terms of the breathing. Okay, the next one, page 3, we can do the 4 posture. Okay, so in order to speed things up, now I'm gonna skip the Pali. I just go with the English one. Okay, page 3, 4 posture. Again, bhikkhus. The bhikkhu, when walking, understand I am walking. When standing, he understand I am standing. When sitting, he understand I am sitting. When lying down, he understand I am lying down. Or however his body is disposed, he understand it accordingly. In this way, he dwells contemplating the body in the body internally, or he dwells contemplating the body in the body externally, or he dwells contemplating the body in the body both internally and externally, or else he dwells contemplating in the body its nature of arising, or he dwells contemplating in the body its nature of vanishing, or he dwells contemplating in the body its nature of both arising and vanishing. Or else mindfulness that there is a body is simply established in him to the extent necessary for bare knowledge and repeated mindfulness, and he dwells independent, not clinging to anything in the world. That is how a bhikkhu dwells contemplating the body in the body. Okay, so now this second one is called the 4 great posture. So you have these 4 posture. Either now you're sitting, or when you're standing, walking, and lying down. Right? You don't have any other more than these 4. So you can be mindful in this posture. That this is just a body. It's not your body. It's just a body that now is taking the sitting position. You can be mindful of it. Sitting is like this. So what is sitting? Sitting is when your lower body is kind of folding and then your upper is straight, right? So this is called sitting. And when you're standing, both are stretching and you're walking. So why we do this? Because so we want to cut this what the sense of self, the continuity of I'm the one who walk, I'm the one who sit, I'm the one who lying down. Actually, each one of these postures have their own causing condition. So, for example, now you sit because you have intention to sit, and because all of this mechanism is working well, then you sit. And when you stand, it's another set of causing condition. You have an intention to stand, and now your body kind of pop up and you stand. So you can see that it's almost like the robot kind of move because of intention. You have intention like this, and then you just move. Okay. So this is the purpose is to dissect this sense of permanent self that I'm the one who do all of these things. To just chop it up, and then it's just each one have their own causing condition. Okay, so this thing also help in terms of meditation because sometimes you can't sit for so long. Normally maybe half an hour or an hour and you're already very full of pain. Okay, so you can shift your mindfulness, but you still maintain mindfulness. But rather than on the breathing now, you can do say walking meditation or standing. Maybe not lying down first, okay? Because now when you lie down, it's very difficult to be mindful when you lie down because now you feel to sleep. It's very advanced step. I always say maybe not for the beginner. Beginner, you sit, standing and walking. Okay, so it's much easier to be mindful. And for sometimes people can do. Sometimes people find being with the breathing very difficult because the mind is not refined yet. So you can start with walking or standing. It's quite it's easier to do the mindfulness with movement. We call it active mindfulness. And once you walk maybe half an hour and you come back to sit, you can find that you can detect your breathing much easier because you're breathing harder. So you can try that. Some meditation teacher, he start with this big posture first, rather than start with the breathing. I think it's maybe worth trying, especially for people who, when you sit, you think so much. Maybe walking is easier to slow down. When you walk, you can be because your sensation of the posture when you move is much easier to follow than your breathing. Okay, so if you're thinking so much, maybe you just walking and then be mindful of your movement. And then when you're thinking already slow down, you can come and then sit. Do you have any question? Okay, yeah. So it's just sometimes you just have to assess your mindfulness at that point, whether which kind of practice will be that that may be suitable for me now. Because especially if you have so many things in your head, to switch it to the mode of being peaceful with your breathing, maybe it's a bit too big of a gap. So maybe you have to do other more kind of active, either thinking or movement. Movement is very good because you also have the exercise and stretching up. Okay, so that the posture. So this another one is clear comprehension. So clear comprehension is a minor movement, rather than just a big one. Now you go with the detail of grasping, touching, everything. Even go to the toilet. Every moment can be used for mindfulness. So you can see how compassionate Buddha teaches. Even you go to the toilet, you still have to be mindful. Everything can be object of mindfulness. Okay, so page 4, clear comprehension. Again, bhikkhu. A bhikkhu is one who acts with clear comprehension when going forward and returning, who acts with clear comprehension when looking ahead and looking away, who acts with clear comprehension when bending and stretching his limbs, who acts with clear comprehension when wearing his robes and carrying his outer robes and bowls, who acts with clear comprehension when eating, drinking, chewing, and tasting, who acts with clear comprehension when defecating and urinating, who acts with clear comprehension when walking, standing, sitting, falling asleep, waking up, talking, and keeping silence. In this way, he dwells contemplating the body in the body internally, or he dwells contemplating the body in the body externally, or he dwells contemplating the body in the body both internally and externally, or else he dwells contemplating in the body its nature of arising, or he dwells contemplating in the body its nature of vanishing, or he dwells contemplating in the body its nature of both arising and vanishing, or else mindfulness that there is a body is simply established in him to the extent necessary for bare knowledge and repeated mindfulness, and he dwells independent, not clinging to anything in the world. That is how bhikkhus, the bhikkhu dwell contemplating the body in the body. Okay, so now with all those minor movements, you have to
be mindful. It's called clear comprehension. Sampajanya is the one name of wisdom, but it's a wisdom that based on the body. It's kind of wisdom of the body, how the body moves, interact with the things. Right? So first you have to know the purpose why I'm doing this. Okay, maybe because you are thirsty. Okay, maybe you're thirsty. Because of the thirsty, you reach for the grass and you put it and then drink. Then you know what is the path toward that. That is straightforward and not what is a suitable mindfulness that I should do at that time. So every time you have this minor movement, you always think about what is the purpose of doing that. Because normally we're not thinking about purpose, we just do it very randomly. But when we have practices, you have to be very mindful of your intention. So why we do what we do. There are some monks who practice it very, very strictly. Every time he moves, he have to know his intention. If he lost his intention, he will start back again. So when he grabs something, he will know, okay, because I want to think, I will do this. And because he practiced it for so long, and one time he talks with his friend, and then he lost his mindfulness because he carried on with his conversation. He started to reach the grass without mindfulness. So he stopped and he repeated that process again. And he just got enlightened. So it's kind of a very inspiring story. So basically, if you be mindful of everything, and then there's one practice, we do it in the monk. Every time you lost the mindfulness, you have to go back and start all over again. For example, if I walk for Bintabat, if I lost my mindfulness, I have to go back and then start walking to the last place where I'm not lost my mindfulness. So it's quite very weird. So that practice you have to go for Bintabat alone because you go to the group, it's going to be go back and forth like this. But they said every Pacceka Buddha, because the Buddha have many. You have Sama Sambuddha, like the Buddha, and you can have Anu Buddha. Like if you get enlightened, you probably call Anu Buddha. You just listen to the Buddha, you come enlightened. But there are the category called Pacceka Buddha. When there are time of no Buddha, maybe some people happen to enlighten, but they can't teach because they're not trained to teach. Okay, one practice for the Pacceka Buddha is they practice this mindfulness, meaning going back and forth until if they lost the mindfulness, they always start where they lost and they just take it again. So it's quite a long and probably very be patient to practice that. But it's one way of maintain the stream of mindfulness continuously. And if you break it, you go back and continue to the last page where you lost it. Okay, so that's quite a nice, maybe the first three group of mind, body, kaya is body. So somebody might ask, okay, why it has to be body in the body? What is the in? Body in the body. Okay, because normally we not contemplate the body in the body, we contemplate the body in the world. For example, okay, what kind of my body compared to that person? I mean, can I able to compete with that? More beautiful, more ugly, more young or something like. So now you contemplate the body in the world, right? But when you contemplate the body in the body, it means in each set of that. For example, for the breathing, there's only way of breathing, either in or out, right? So when you contemplate the body in the body, I'm breathing in or out in this kind of two possibility of in or out. Right? If you contemplate the four posture, there are only four kind of posture, either standing, sitting, walking, or lying down. So now I'm standing compared to myself when I'm sitting, standing, or walking, right? Because when I stand, I'm not walking, I'm not lying down, I'm not sitting. So you have this only one in all of this group. Okay, so the purpose is to cut the sense of the self. That each one have their own causing condition. So you can see that it's not one single thing that doing in and out. It's just different intention. So this is the purpose of the mindfulness is to see it clearly, to penetrate what we call the viparasa. Viparasa is mean distorted will, or you can say the viparasa in Thai is mean mad. So normally you are not seeing things as it is. You see the body which is ugly as beautiful. Okay, you see the feeling which is suffering as happiness, and you see the mind which is changing all the time as continuous, not changing, and you see the Dhamma phenomena as belong to self, but it's not. It's belong to causing condition. Okay, so the mindfulness of these four foundations is supposed to penetrate to this delusion, thinking that thing is beautiful, thing is permanent, thing is happiness, and thing is self. Okay, so all is point to one thing to able to extract you from that wrong thinking, because all the thing is not beautiful, it's not permanent, it is not happy, it's suffering. Here is mean suffering. Here is mean is combination because it come together. Therefore, it's falling apart. It's all the time coming together and fall apart, and it's not under your control. It's under the causing condition. So that's the whole process of mindfulness. When you able to slow down and be focused, shine the light on that, and then see what you think is permanent. Is it permanent? If it stays the same, or it's changing all the time, and why it's changing? Because it's causing condition, and what is causing condition for that? So you just going tracing back, and you can see that it's no entity as self that controlling thing. It's just because thing cause, then you have this result. It's always the chain of reaction, one leading to the other. So the mindfulness is the first step where you shine the light of mindfulness and you start to see clearly what's going on. Okay? So the purpose is to get you out from that clinging to this body and mind as me and mine. Just get out. Okay, so maybe I'll not go to the unaccident of the body because I want to please the customer. We all go on. So maybe I keep you here first and then go to the next one. Okay, number good.